Time for a big game breakdown. Live odds, SBR odds, and Sportsbook review. Make sure you're betting with a trustworthy shop out there. Check out the Sportsbook review rating guide. Game 7, 5 o'clock Pacific. Celtics seeing some fives now. It opened 4.5. Total down to 209.5 after it opened at 212.5. Game. You see the graphic here of all the scores in the games so far in the series. The entire season between these two teams, home teams 10-0 straight up, 9-1 ATS. The one came in Game 6. How about some Game 7 betting trends, Teddy?
Yeah, okay. So the thought process here, and I went back 9 NBA postseasons, took a look at some work over at Covers.com. They put together a nice article on this. And it made sense, and that's the key when you're talking about trends. All right, so is there value from betting the team that lost Game 6 against the spread? The answer is yes. Blindly betting the team that lost Game 6 ATS, not straight up, but ATS, 19-11 in these Game 7 situations. Of course, that trend held up for the Utah Jazz, plus the points when they visited the Clips in Game 7 of the opening round, and that points towards the Washington Wizards in that 4.5, 5-point range. And really, we have to call them 5-point dogs now. The market has moved from 4.5 to 5. Wizards are a +5 right now, so it bodes well for the Wizards. But home teams, just blindly betting the home teams in Game 7, 60% during that span, 18-12 in the 30 opportunities. But then you throw a little tightener in. Home teams, after losing Game 6 ATS, 9-2 against the number. After winning ATS, just 9-10 against the number. Again, bodes well for the Washington Wizards.
This is ESPN Stats and Info, or excuse me, Winner's View. Ask Winner's View on Twitter. Wizards win probability went down 5 with 1:25 left, fell to 3.8% before they came back. Crowder, many of the Celtics, we let this one slip away. We feel like we'd everything give ourselves a chance to win. Tough one to swallow, but you got to bounce back. Can't dwell on it too long, or roll over or have it roll over, or can roll over into Game 7. You don't want that to happen. It makes you want to go play Game 7 tomorrow. As far as the Game 7 pressure, strange here, 7 of the 10 players leading the series in minutes have never been in one. For Washington, Gortat, Jennings, and Mahinmi have the experience. For Boston, Crowder, Horford, Johnson, and Green. What do you think of that, Teddy? Is that a big deal?
Well, and it's funny because all the guys that have been in these Game 7 experience, look, Gortat did it with Orlando, Jennings with Milwaukee, me with Indiana. You have Crowder did it with Dallas, and Horford in Atlanta, and Amir Johnson in Toronto, and Gerald Green with Miami. None of them have done it with their respective teams. Look at the quote from Brad Stevens, though. Quote, "There's a lot of power in having some naivete," and I agree with that. Everyone knows it's win or go home in these type of situations. The pressure on both of these squads. But I want to go back to the Jay Crowder quote for just a moment. You know, talking about it's a tough one to swallow, but you got to bounce back. You remember hearing quotes like that from, I don't know, maybe some of the guys on Houston after they let Game 5 slip away in San Antonio? I really worry about the teams that let one get away. And I don't know. I mean, if the win probability from a betting standpoint was not 3.8%, according to InPredict, that would have been real low, and bettors would have gone nuts with a 5-point lead and a minute and a half left in a playoff game, given 20-1 opportunity there or better. But nonetheless, it was slim, and they found a way to do it. Now it's Boston, I think, with some of the pressure on them, although that's not necessarily what comes out of the Scott Brooks quote you're about to read, Pauly.
He said the pressure of playing in the NBA is the NBA game is playing hard. If you put pressure on, I have to make shots, I have to get 25, I have to get 35 or whatever. You're probably going to set yourself up for maybe not a ton of success, but you just focus on playing hard and trying to take care of your teammates. I think that's the pressure that needs to be applied on everybody. If you can do that, you can live with the results. End of that quote. Now, it comes down to the 2 point guards. Wall hit the biggest shot of his career, the 3, to get it done in Game 6, but he's been 30 of 85 over the past 4 games. Last 4, 23 of 66 on 2-point attempts. I think the Celtics have found an answer to cutting down on his drives. Then you have IT, 43 points per game in the first 2, only 19 points per game since on 23 of 59 shooting. So it was strange Game 5 that they blew out the Wizards, and IT didn't do much, but guys like Bradley have played well, and that's the thing. It never fails, and you saw what happened in Game 6. The one thing Barkley's right on, the supporting cast and the bench players will always step it up and play well at home. the key players, reserves, supporting cast for the road team will not play. Well, it's gone on the entire series here and much of the playoffs. Big edge there for Boston with the others tonight at home.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I flat out don't. And for every example you can give me one way, I can give you an example the other way. How did the Rockets role players do in Game 6 at home? I mean, they're in my mind.
This entire series, it's been that way.
Yeah, this series has been dramatically that way. Although, I mean, Washington's role players have stunk it up all series. Didn't matter what floor they were on. Their bench has been bad, and the Celtics have had the better of the two benches. But when you talk about, you talk about Wall's offensive struggles. Washington has figured out Isaiah Thomas. From going to half his scoring average over the last 4, just 23 made shots in those 4 ball games. I mean, the Celtics the reason that the Celtics are at 3-3 right now and not in bigger trouble is because of guys like Avery Bradley, who stepped up in Game 5. Isaiah Thomas has been the straw that stirs the drink for that team, and I'm not convinced that he is going to be capable of doing that against a Wizards squad that has gotten the job done on the defensive end against him in recent ball games.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.